Hi, today we're gonna to recreate this sea slug in TouchDesigner, which was inspired by this organism, Flatworm, and let's do this from scratch as usual. Let's set up our very basic instancing system first. We will use box as instancing units. Let's set pretty small scale and geometry. And today we will use camera viewport in the tools as our camera, because it's very convenient to use this tool and not many people knows about that. Let's use transform after render, and it's important to set out one here as our parent comp has a link to it. And here in camera viewport, let's set dot dash and dot dot as expression here. Now let's also set resolution here. Split our window into parts and use panel here. And to link resolution, let's set here parent project parameter W, and the same but with H for height. Okay, instancing setup is set, and let's start to work with point clouds. We will use disk here, and let's use ZX direction. And we will use our standard setup for rotation angles. And let's turn on instancing, use this. And now we can use our mouse to rotate the object in camera space. And if you want to control not only rotation but also distance, let's turn on these settings in parent project comp. Okay, let's start modeling the organism. Let's set for resolution something like that, and we will square that. We have a solid disk, and let's use point transform to change the scale to in X direction to something like that. Next, I want to use my point cloud tools for point cloud twisting. This one. Let's connect this. And now we want to make a rotation around x-axis. We got something like that. And let's play with it a little. I want to something like that, and let's scale down the amplitude. Now we got something similar to the shape of the organism, but asymmetric. To change that, let's use that second point transform here, and matter here. And here we will have a threshold. Let's set blue here as, let me show you. Our point cloud exists in X and Z direction, and I want to mirror one side to another. Sorry. To do that, let's filter only G here, as I want to mirror it in only Y direction, and -1 here. Let's set threshold to 1 and let's a little soften the transition with them. Now this starts to resemble our C-slug. Let's also turn on soft shadows, increase shadow resolution by 2. And we will use PBR material for this slug. Let's make it a little faster, like that. Now we have one level of folds here, and I want also to add another layer with so I want to add the second layer of folds or these alterations. To do that, let's add the second twist point cloud transform. And let's connect it first to output. And I want to add like something about 30, I believe, with a less amplitude, something like that. And well, maybe faster. Let's make them. Okay, and we need basically the same setup here. That starts to look like animal. And now I also want to add third matter to control the depth of these folds and transition between these two states. Let's connect them together, and let's also add point cloud weight here. Now we have, we can see that we have the second layer of folds only on the internal side of this creature, but actually I want the opposite, so I will change this. And controlling this follow, we can decide how prominent these folds will be. I will leave it like that at the moment. And I would like also to add a couple of features. Let's add new matter. And what I like to do is create kind of like border within the middle line of this creature. Sorry, we need point cloud transform. And also we need another point weight here. In point transform, let's slightly bring it down. And here I would like to use like very narrow something like that. Yeah, this gives us a little more organic feel. Out of this creature. And the last but not least, as this movement is very mathematical, it's beautiful, but it's not very organic. Let's also add some noise to it. Turn it on, set period to, I don't know, 20, and also very small amplitude. And let's animate this. Now we have much better movements here. The basic shape is finished. Now let's set up the environment and the overall look. Let's use some depth of field here. Now let's also create some organic pattern to mimic the patterns of the real animal. And let's set this to PT color. And now let's add some environment to this creature. Let's call this sea worm. And now we will also create instance system for dust or debris around this object. We will also use some positions and rotation angles. And we don't need color here. Now let's play here. Let's set the same resolution here. (32 RGB and not monochrome). Here we need very pretty big amplitude and not in pretty small period here. Now let's add the second noise. Here we don't need monochrome 2, and here we need to set limits in. I want to move it in X direction, so let's set loop. And also let's set the second point transform here to adjust scale. We need to create an illusion that this creature within a dust cloud or something like that. And this point transform within before limit we need to animate. Too fast. Let's scale down. And now we have an impression that it flies within the stream. Swim. Let's adjust shadows a little. And I would like to make these particles a little more sparkly. Do something like that. We might also highlight some white parts of the composition using blue. And yeah, we got our sea slug. I think this is a very good look, and there are plenty of things to play with here. As we got this look, let's also set up another variant using Tut23 by Josef Pelz. I just would like to show you how we can show the same composition using slightly different approach and visualization. Let's turn this off for a while, and we will use this point cloud. Let's connect it to volume actually. And now we have a cropped version of our geometry. To refine that, you can either get bounce, and I would also would like to increase the resolution here. Let's use something like that. And also turn down the light. Let's set the light resolution to something like that to optimize it. Let's also blur that. And I would like to use custom scales, something like that. And let's actually extend our look here. I would like to add some tentacles here. To do that, let's go back to our initial system. We can slightly increase the density, and let's use the second one. And here I need another point generator. I need it to be rectangle, and let's set resolution like that. We again multiply the resolution value by itself. And also we need circle component, because I want to circularize this rectangle. Let's add level here. And also we need point merge. let's also add an additional point transform here. And we add like something like that, which is, I believe, skirt or something. And this is a great way to add some tendrils like that. Also, let's use this color as input here to create also some uneven shading here. And the nice thing is here that we actually can reverse these folds in this matter and get something more like alien species, I believe. So let's switch off my block here. The last thing I would like to change, I don't like this black dot here, so let's add an additional matter. And using this method, we will mask pixels with 0 values that comes from this merge here. Hopefully soon this will be changed with pop context in TouchDesigner. So this is it. I hope you liked it, and I can't wait to see your works, so feel free to tag me on Instagram, and see you next time.